What's going on, guys? Zennosh here, and today in this video of Exos Heroes, well, let's review this new unit called the FateCore Valentina. Yes, you heard me right, she's finally up next. The hero that we had been really waiting for, the cold FateCore hero unit that we had been waiting so patiently for very long time, that we had been really saving up cess for her. Now let's review her skills and let's find out if she is really worth pulling or not, regardless how hot and gorgeous and seductive she really looks. Okay, well, looking into her details right over here, she's going to be known as the Princess Vacation Valentina, and there's going to be lore. I think the tag the legend is going to cover up that. Okay, she's going to be available after the update till September 3rd, 1:59, 2020 UTC. Okay, there we go, guys. The artwork looks really superb and amazing, and definitely I would really want to have her in my inventory. Okay, so there we go. FateCore ability, let's look into her FateCore stats. Attack is going to be improved by 58 points, defense 36 points, health is going to be improved by 194 points, which I think is not really that superb if you have to really ask me. Okay, it's like, all right. Combat power is going to be improved by 10,800 points. Skill information, okay, the passive effect, let's talk about it first. Mana Observe 3 removes buff of an enemy and gain mana 1 mana. I think you all know that removing buff is not really something that's superb in this game. Okay, well, it might be superb in the upcoming contents, but so far the effects that are applied through the passive skill effects are unremovable. Okay, so that means most of the time this passive effect is a little bit useless. Okay, gain mana 1 mana additionally if the health of the target is at 80% or more. Remove 1 mana the target has, and then gain mana 1 mana to self if health of the target is at 30% or less. So that's a really good amount of mana that she could gain if she is quite successful in removing the mana of the opponent. Now there is going to be another effect, just like any other Summer Festa unit. She has that flap effect. Okay, it says if the caster has a removable buff, recovery, positive effects applied, each valid attack imbues modifications for 3 turns. So there we go, guys. Modification turns the opponents into any kind of like inanimate creatures, like ducklings or whatever that is, or pufferfish maybe, and during that duration the opponent is incapable of doing anything at all. So there we go, guys. All right, and the next effect is going to be the Summer Blessing, just like any other Summer Festa unit, with which she is going to grant frost damage immunity whenever the battle starts to all the allies. Okay, and upon the removal of that frost damage immunity, she is going to increase the attacks of the target by up to 50% for 9 turns. All right, so there we go, guys. So all the allies are gonna be receiving that attack boost by 50% if their Summer Blessing is removed. Okay, so that is quite good right over there. All right, and now let's move into the first active skill discussion. Seductive Punishment. It says it only requires 1 mana. That means it's really spammable. Okay, it's really easy to spam. There are so many units right out there which is definitely going to allow her to get +1 permanent mana all the freaking time. And with the recent announcement of the Dorka, which actually provides +1 mana to all the allies whatsoever, whatever the row they really do belong to, whether it be the front row or the back row. If you have Dorka in your team, she is definitely not going to have any problem at all. Okay, so that's quite cool indeed, isn't it? So there we go, guys. Meaning she will be able to consistently deal 150% damage to one enemy for the single target damage right over there. Not really that bad for 1 mana. I think that's a pretty good amount of damage. And overtime effect is also there, the dot damages, which I think is quite valid in the current situation, because as you know, the first Guardian Hero units are very controlled in the current meta, right? So I mean, like, I really don't think it's going to be really that problematic if you are going to deal a single target dot damage right over there. Afflicts the target with Frostbite, dealing 92% damage every turn for 2 turns, which I think is okay, it's pretty good. Contempt right over there, guys. The next effect is going to be Mana Burn. She's going to burn 10 mana of all enemies, not just one single target. It's a little bit different than compared to her original version. With her original version, she could only burn the mana of one single target, but this time she's going to burn the mana of all the enemies. Think about it. Even though her target is just single target, she's going to burn all the mana, all freaking mana of all the enemies right out there with her first active skill. I think that is insane. That is insane. And the next fun fact that I would really love to give to you guys that her speed stat is not really that superb, okay? It's really, really bad. She's quite slow unit indeed. That means she's going to go last when it comes to the turns per round basis, okay? So round 1, she goes at last, and she's going to use her either active skill number 1 or active skill number 2, and she's going to burn all the mana all the enemies have. Think about it, meaning in the next turn, or let's say round 2, first turn, the FateCore of the opponent team will not be able to use her ultimate strike and annihilate all of our teams. Think about it. Yes, she might actually get a maximum of 3 mana thanks to the FateCore Annie, right? Thanks to the FateCore Annie, but what can she do with just 3 mana? Okay, we use the round 1 to build up on the mana for the FateCore. But if you steal her mana right off the bat within the round 1, round 2 she has nothing to show up. Meaning the way that we are going to play our game in the current meta is definitely going to change if we have her in our team. That's what it feels like. Okay, but there's one problem right over there, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, she is a frost unit. Okay, she is a frost unit. As an advantage, definitely when it comes to her turn, when it's her turn, she will be able to already stack up to like 5 to 6 mana easily, because the block effects is very easily induced during the battle, right? So during her turn, she will already be possessing up to at least 5 mana. That means like she is not going to run out of mana anytime soon, meaning like she will be able to use her active skill 2 over and over and over again. But the problem is that the summer blessing effect, okay? The summer blessing is definitely going to nullify her damage, meaning like if the damage is nullified, that means her effect, there's no chance for her effect to be applied. That means you have to make sure that the FateCore battery will be the one who initially removes all the effect. Okay, FateCore battery should be the one who should initially remove all the effect, and then it's gonna be her turn, and at that time she will be removing all the mana from the opponents. And that can be quite possible as well. Think about it. That is the one way to actually counter the FateCore, if you have to ask me. Well, let's just think about it, man. Alright, there we go. I like it. And she's also going to bind all enemies for 7 turns. And it cannot be removed. Just look at it. It can't be removed, okay? Even though, like, one is going to use the cleanse, like, let's say FateCore Iris, right? It cannot be removed. Just think about it, man. And bind is, I think it's a new effect indeed. It's still not yet, introduced yet in the Exos heroes. It might actually be blind as well. Maybe there's a little bit of typo error. But if it's not a typo error and it's really is a new form of status effect, then wow, man, think about it. Bind can actually be another form of stun, or maybe it might be the one that would slow the enemies. Okay, whatever the case, you are definitely going to have upper hand against the opponents, because she is going to be the last one who is going to go in per round basis. Alright, and in the next round, the opponents are going to be binded, and definitely it's going to hamper or, like interrupt or disrupt the momentum of the battle play. So, well guys, I think she's really worth pulling. Like, just think about it, man. There's just too much potential with it. This game is all about mana. If you are going to strip off all the mana from the opponent, oh my god, that is OP indeed, OP indeed. It's really, really, really something that you have to really consider, man. It's amazing. Active skill number 2, it says Seductive Case of Despair. Well, she's already seductive, right? So, well, it requires 3 mana cost, which I think it's never going to be a problem to her. Never, ever, ever going to be a problem to her, okay? Every time she's gonna get her turn, definitely she's going to have at least 5 mana to show up. A single target damage, she's going to deal 525% damage to one single target, okay? Contempt, mana burn, 10 mana, all enemies afflicted with the fear of abyss if the target is afflicted with the fear of abyss, and bind all enemies for 7 turns, can't be removed. So the content is pretty much the same as that of active skill 1 and active skill number 2, and definitely for the fear of abyss you have to use the Shufraken or the FateCore Shufraken. Definitely she is the unit who is going to pair up with the FateCore Shufraken, and for right now the FateCore Shufraken is definitely the current meta as well. And with that thing being considered, definitely she is going to make some really good change in the current meta. Okay, that's what I really have to say to you guys. Well, these are my insights, these are my initial insights. Okay, definitely we have to see like how she is actually going to perform in the battle, but in the paper she looks really good, she looks really damn amazing. Okay, in the paper analysis she looks really tempting, she looks really amazing, ferocious, and definitely you should be pulling her right away. I would be pulling her. I would be pulling her, and definitely I would be saving my other sets for Dorka, which obviously I will be covering up in the next video. Her skills are already out. Definitely I will be covering her up in the next video. Alright, but looking into this skill, definitely she is someone who you really want to have in your team, and she definitely is going to be quite an amazing unit in the main PvP team. Not just in the PvP tag teams, okay? In the main team. Because being able to burn all the mana of the opponents freaking every time is something that is definitely going to cripple up the opponents really hard. Without no mana, without any kind of mana, the opponents are very severely, I don't know, like the crippled, okay? That's what I say to you guys. Anyways, Princess Vacation Valentina is gold rated FateCore. The chance increase of the recruitment of the Princess Vacation Valentina is 0.5%, just like any other gold FateCore hero unit so far. And definitely she's gonna be pitted at the 28 core mileages, and I have already prepared up all the amount of sets that is required in order to pity her, okay? But I'm really hoping that I would be getting her before the the pity actually shows up. Okay, so I mean, like, let's hope so. Man, I'm so happy. All right, I'm really happy. And definitely her exclusive weapon is also right over there. It's gonna be the Seaside Case Valentina. And as you know, guys, I really don't like to spend any kind of cess in this thing. Anyways, looking into that icon, definitely her modification effect is going to turn the opponents into a caged bird like stuff. Okay, and definitely the opponent will not be able to do anything. It also has a 0.5% chance of drop rate, and it can be pitted at the 28 core mileages, and definitely one multi-summon is gonna cost you the 700 cess, which I think is pathetic. It's really not something that you have to invest your cess into unless you are a whale or maybe shark, okay? But dolphins, no, don't go for it, okay? Don't go for it. So there we go, guys. I'm really happy. Definitely I will be covering up another video for this update, okay? The new update that is going to arrive. But so far, guys, FateCore Valentina is something that I would really want to have in my team, being able to burn the mana of all the opponents, not just one single target, because previously she would only burn the target of the burn the mana of the one single target, but now she's going to be able to burn the mana of all the targets with her both of the skills, and that actually makes her very powerful indeed. Think about it, man. And the bind effect, who knows, it might be another form of stun which can be applied to all the enemies, or it might be another form of, or let's say a new form of slow. I mean, like, this game really lacks slow. Something that would actually reduce the attack speed of the opponents is definitely going to be quite helpful indeed in your upcoming battles, okay? And I would think that is definitely going to be quite awesome, okay? I mean, if you can go before your opponents, definitely you will have the upper hand. I mean, like, you guys already know, like, the FateCore era, who goes first in the second round, is the one who actually decides the battle most of the time, isn't it? Right? So that is it, guys. So, well, this is it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to keep on enjoying the contents of my channel. See you guys in the next video.